Action!
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm sorry if I sound a bit hay fevery.
It's my allergies.
I don't feel so good.
But today's hot topic, as you can tell by the thumbnail, is Omegamon Alter-S. And why is that? Because we've just had the finale of the Millenniummon arc in Digimon Adventure 2020. You know, I've seen these questions everywhere. Where is Rumoured? Why didn't Omegamon appear? And don't worry, we're going to discuss all of these things, as I'd like to flesh out as well. We've seen the madness, we've seen the
guy,
Greymon, we've seen the Holy Dragons, we've seen Millenniummon in that Z-like form, which is absolutely gargantuan.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick, boy. That's a thick ass boy.
Get waxed by some DBZ, don't mess with my friends, spirit bomb. And it had me shooketh. But 50 episodes have gone by and there's 16 episodes left. That is a lot of time. And on top of this, there's still this mysterious big bad we have yet to be introduced to formally. So considering all of the missing pieces, how do we get to the end? We're going to talk about it. Enjoy the video. So if you have watched my episode 51 pre-show, you would know that this is definitely not the end of the digital world's catastrophe. In fact, it's only beginning, which is crazy considering what we saw from Z Millenniummon literally destroying most of the planet's surface. Despite all this effort, despite all of the prayers, despite all of the energy, there is more to come.
You're killing me, man!
But surely for whatever is left, it must be the real deal. Despite how menacing Millenniummon seemed, it was always pushed through the narrative that Millenniummon was the weapon of a dark army, and by no means a leader. And with the other Digidestined Megas missing still, there will be a good reason for this, and I don't think at that point it was worth evolving everybody at that stage, because that's not what they were intended for, so we shouldn't let our absence of knowledge of how the series is going and cast a shadow over this Millenniummon arc. They did what they had to do to win at that point, and I think you would agree with me in that that was the only possible way to win. Because if we had used Omegamon there and then, that would have invalidated everybody else along the way, so much more so than using this Spirit Bomb Gaia Force, because at least all the digital friends along the way and the Digidestined can contribute to that energy. But if you remember episode 18 when Omegamon appeared, the rest of them were just sat there watching, whereas it was different last week. So for all of this, the Digidestined that were remaining, Omegamon, there's a place for all of this later on in the series that we are yet to see. You know, we're only just getting some exposition on the crest this week, and the real threat is yet to come. That's all crazy stuff. Blitz Greymon, a tale of two halves to be sure. And then there's been no Crest Garurumon in sight, not even an inkling of Crest Garurumon anywhere. And then there's only 16 episodes left, along with the other megas to get. I've covered Crest Garurumon and so did you know over the months that have gone by. You know, will it even happen? But based, of course it will happen, because it's in the sacred texts. And it is one of the necessary components of Omegamon Alter-S. You know what? You're completely right, generally speaking. But we need to remind ourselves of the disconnect between the original canon and the lore of the reboot. Both times that we have seen Omegamon, it has been a joggerous evolution from Greymon and Garurumon. Not from War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. Not at the Mega level, but at Champion level. Of course there's theories about this, and in fact I've covered those theories on this channel already, but without making this entire video 30 minutes, I'll just refer you to that one to watch if you don't know about that. But in theory,
Hey y'all, come look at this.
why couldn't Greymon and Garurumon joggerous evolve to Omegamon Alter-S? Obviously, it needs an explanation, which I can imagine it'll be some kind of joggerous caused by the Holy Digimon, as mentioned several times before on Omegamon videos on this channel. But why Alter-S and not just Omegamon? Well, admittedly, we can't possibly know this for sure yet, because these alternative evolutions have been both sensical and sporadic at the same time. It varies from case to case. If the evolution to Omegamon is somehow affected by something else, that might be what causes Omegamon Alter-S to appear instead of just Omegamon. But if we move forward with this theory in our heads based on right now, it would be a complete accident to them, because they can't rationalize how these alternative forms have really come around yet. And if you've been with me for long enough on this channel, you'll know my stance on alternative forms. If they make the alternative forms that matter make sense and I'm cool with it in some way, shape or form, then if sporadic evolutions happen, as long as they don't massively contribute to the outcome of the story, then it doesn't really matter anyway, it's a bit of fun. You have to think it's an entirely new reboot, it's Digimon, It's data, it's symbolic shonen. We need to remind ourselves what we're in for. My personal feeling is that Millenniummon is not beaten yet, because we never actually saw Millenniummon be destroyed, rather just hit by the attack and then disappear. It could be something like this big bad is saving Millenniummon for later on, so you have the Digidestined Megas, Izzy, Joe, Mimi, Sora versus Millenniummon, so 4 Megas there. And then you have Omegamon Alter-S versus the real big bad. Maybe they're going for that, I'm not sure. 2 battles going on at the same time, these decisive battles might be a bit much, but considering Millenniummon might still be alive, that would give the Digidestined Megas a real, fulfilling role in the reboot, to buy Omegamon Alter-S time. But that's just a thought, really. And maybe we do get some real fleshed out Jogras evolution of Omegamon Alter-S. Maybe it will take Crestgurumon, maybe it will take Blitzgreymon. Who knows how they're going to go back into those forms again later on. But it just seems in the way that Blitzgreymon was handled, they just evolved into Blitzgreymon and then not really addressed that fact since then. It might just happen as and when. Though I do hope there is some clear thing that affects the Omegamon Jogras evolution to the point where it just slides into Alter-S instead. Even if it's just marginally sensible, I'll be okay with it, because clearly in this canon, evolution is quite easily affected by other things. But we're getting to the point now where even in episode 51, if they don't explain alternative evolution, it would feel like these huge momentous things can be resolved by some sporadic alternative form that has no real rationale to be there in the first place, almost like a toss of the coin. It would feel strange, and we don't really want coin toss evolutions. As cool as they are, we just want the heroes to have a decisive victory, like something that was planned and something that was earned, not just luck. All I want is that if Omegamon Alter-S fights and defeats the final villain, I just don't want to sit there thinking, why could this have not been the regular Omegamon? Do you know what I mean? I want to think, oh, it had to be Omegamon Alter-S because X, Y, Z. Even if the reasoning isn't the most perfect thing in the world, at least there's some rationale behind that deviation. I've spoken to commenters a few times about how Blitzgreymon and Crestgreymon will come into the picture, and that the Mega Evolutions from episode 50 are exhausted from that battle, and they can't readily access those forms again. But based on what we've seen, I'm not even sure if that's the case. They don't seem tired, they don't seem worn out, it doesn't seem like their stamina's been drained. Not like Patamon episode 32, because against his final villains, there's going to be a situation that is desperate, much like with Millenniummon. Then if you can't have Metal Garurumon or Greymon, it forces the need for the alternative evolution. So that would have been nice, but I don't think they're going to go with that, because, I mean, yeah, they were tired after the battle, but not that tired, which I suppose you could call that maybe an error in the writing, but you can't really say that because we don't know how they're going to handle Omegamon Alter-S later on. So, you know, commenters think that we need Crestgurumon. I mean, I would like that too, and I agree, but it just isn't impossible that they could completely skip the need for Crestgurumon entirely and then just go straight to Omegamon Alter-S and then just give some rationale why it deviated. But then the sacred texts say Crestgurumon is there, but then the sacred text didn't say that Godramon was there, and we got a huge, massive debut, literally, from Godramon. That was entirely relevant in Millenniummon losing. I don't really know where to put my chips personally, but if I was a betting man, I'd be willing to think that they might just flap the Crestgurumon alternative evolution a bit like Blitzgreymon, and then those quick debuts be that little bit of context that they needed to get to Alter-S. Maybe Omegamon, the regular one, loses, then they have to refuse again, but this time it's into Alter-S instead, acting like a different form. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. You know, how are they going to approach Omegamon Alter-S? It's very clear they're kind of saving it for the final villain. But do you think they'll skip the alternative evolution thing? Do you think they'll just class Omegamon Alter-S as a Jogras evolution all on its own, not really regarding Blitzgreymon and Crestgurumon that way? Or do you think they'll really heavily direct us to Crestgurumon and then really give us some exposition on how Omegamon Alter-S was possible later on? I guess it comes down to episode 51, you know, how much information we get there and then. If you get barely any information, that kind of shows that they're not going to explain anything to us, so we can't expect that in the future. But if they explain a lot in this week's episode, then maybe they really will flesh out Crestgurumon and Omegamon Alter-S. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I've got a lot more videos in the works, so please don't miss those. I really hope you enjoyed today. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. And take care.